Listen to the kids. Bro. Listen to the kids, bro. Listen to the kids, bro.
Welcome to the 36 Chambers of Fatherhood show. I am your host, Scuba Bell, the Papa Dundada. Swing it over to my other co-host.
I am S. Hamilton, a.k.a. Old Head Wildin'. Passing it off to R Square's very own, Mr. Steve.
Hold on 1 second. Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
What kind of goddamn hat you got on over here?
It's that Mifka hat.
We
Make
don't-
fatherhood great again.
Mifka,
We out
bro.
here.
Hold on. Look at the camera real quick. 'cause I wanna-
Mifka.
Okay.
Mifka.
All right. I thought you were saying something else, sir.
Nah.
I was about to tell you couldn't eat dinner in this establishment.
See, there you
Damn.
It was his choice.
go. Exactly. It was my choice. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was
I
my
was gonna
choice.
say we don't serve your kind here, but that's a nice hat, sir.
Thank you.
You might
Thank you.
happen to have one on too, Mr.
Oh,
Scoop.
yeah. You already know.
Back in black. See, I wasn't worried about
Yeah,
that. You see, with the red one.
yeah.
I see. I got to keep it all the way authentic. You know what I'm
There
saying?
you go.
If I'm gonna be out here, I might have to throw the gray hoodie on like Kanye and be like, nah, I can't. I was trying to go to one of them balls he was saying.
But did you dye your hair blonde or something like that?
Nah.
Take off the hat. Watch. We'll see. No, I'm joking. Yeah, man. Mifka, bro. You see all this dragon energy in this room?
So
Exactly.
hold on, can I get one of those?
Of course,
I thought I
absolutely.
was a co-host. I can't even get a hat.
Damn.
But the hat is here, baby.
The hat's here.
How do I get it?
Yo, go to the Instagram at 36COF_. DM us. We'll hit you with the PayPal link. We got you. You gotta walk around with this
Tell me
dragon
to get that
energy.
Cash app.
Word
Yeah, with that dragon energy, we got the
father
cash
energy,
app.
the father
yeah,
energy.
the father
Yeah.
energy. You
Yeah.
go into your
Yeah.
kid's baseball game with the red joint on,
the
and
red
everybody
joint on.
stop and look at you like, yo, this dude was
Nah, the
just
Trump-
talking crap about the immigrant kids,
Nah,
and he
the
came
Trump-
on with the hat.
The Trump supporters might, they might be going, oh my God, yo, can I get a hat from them? Until you pull it off, be like, nah, man, it's all about the fatherhood. baby.
Yeah, they were like,
You know what I'm saying?
I thought Father Trump sold out.
Nah, then you gonna have the non-Trump supporters try to set it off on me.
Listen,
Yeah.
man, I was about to kick you out of this.
It's
whole
gonna be a bad day for them.
But yo, man, the hats are gravy.
But
let's.
We got a guest today, don't we?
Yeah,
Yes,
we got
we do.
another
Yeah.
guest. We got
Bam!
another guest. Boom, yo, we wilding in here. Yo, state your name, brother.
It's good people. Go by E Holla.
Hey.
hey, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go,
Thank
go,
you.
Clap,
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yo.
Thank you for having me. We can curse in here, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Don't worry. I'll keep it. PG-13.
Yeah.
I'll keep it
Be
PG-13.
you, be
But
yourself.
yeah.
The
Okay.
show is for the fathers. It's not
Yeah, it's for the
kids.
fathers.
All right,
It's
cool.
For you, man.
Okay. Yeah. But I'm a big fan of the show. I told Scoop that a minute ago. I'm caught up every episode, and I think Old Head Wild's one of the dopest names I've ever heard. I'm just throwing that out there. But I'm a big fan of the show. So when he hit me about this, I was just like, I still had the text, but I was like, oh wow, that was my first.
Yeah.
Like that's something I didn't even expect.
Right.
Like didn't expect to be here. So
Nah, that's cool, man. We
being
try-
a fan to now being at the table, it's a big honor.
But,
Real talk.
we appreciate you coming through and
Yeah.
giving your time today.
Absolutely. Yo, but before we get into everything, just break down how we met, but not how we met essentially, but why do they call you E Holla?
I mean, that's pretty much the government. Eric Holloman. I'm not ashamed of my name. I've always been called Holla at Fat Beats. Eclipse started really with Holla Back. That's the full name, but I'm not introducing myself for Holla Back all day long. You know what I mean? But came up through the Fat Beats alumni. Then the Brown Bag All Stars. Everybody who knows the Brown Bag All Stars story from 2007. And then we had a showcase. So then that's where I met School, because the doppelgangers and everything. So I became a big fan of them. Shout out to Matt and EP.
Yeah, shout out to
And
the
then
dots.
Yeah.
then right after that, y'all seen me on stage with Torre for good amount of his 10-year
Shout out to Torre.
career.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Especially during the Daily Conversation, the Double Barrel, days or some of the entitled days. You know what I mean? I was definitely like in and out, but then that's where fatherhood definitely came in.
Okay.
Was in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's a good way to segue all this.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
know what I mean?
absolutely. So in 2008, you were blessed.
Yes, sir. God damn. He about to turn 10 next month.
How old were you?
2008, 28.
You were 28.
Yeah.
Nice.
That same night, well, we rushed in because, you know, he had an accident in his mom's belly, so it got her sick. Rushed in. She had the C-section, and then you could ask 57. It's like I was there for like 6-7 hours. Then they was keeping overnight. I didn't go home. I went because we had a show like 2 days after. I went to rehearsal, all hospitaled out, bracelet on, everything. They were like, "Fuck you doing here?" And I was like, "We got rehearsal, right?" So we rocking ever since. So Jay's been around me with music since then, since he was born.
Dedication.
Yeah, so
Dedication.
when your wife or Mike, right?
I'm not with her right now.
Okay.
That's
That's another
another discussion. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, rap stuff happens.
Yeah.
So.
But when you got that first initial call, because I know how mine was, but when you got that first initial call, that
The oh shit moment.
the oh shit moment, you know,
Yeah.
how was that? How that heart felt? Did
Like-
it drop? Did it drop to the
It
belly?
didn't drop. It didn't drop, but you definitely got to analyze your movement, because you know if you go in full thread and full bore music, it takes up a lot of your time, especially the very beginning. You're not getting paid what you think you worth, because you ain't worth nothing.
Right.
So you gotta show your worth. Show your worth to the crew. Show your worth to, you know, these shows that you're gonna get there on time. You know, I don't rap, but you know, you do a feature. You're not, you know, you gotta show your worth. You gotta show that I'm here. You know what I mean? So it was just always found, and I'm still to this day with life, just finding a balance
Right.
with family and anything else I do.
Now, what are your children? How many children?
I
do
have
you
3 now.
3 age ranges.
So Jay, he turns 10 next month. Ava's 5, and baby Sienna, she just turned 3 on Father's Day. So that was,
So you're about 10 years in the game as a father.
yeah, man.
All right. So
And you
Yeah.
have are your kids, do they have the same mother?
My son is with one, and then my 2 daughters are with Shorty I'm currently with.
How does that work?
Yeah. I keep it cordial as best as possible. I really do. I mean, it's not like as far as the kids, they all know their brothers and sisters, and
That's good.
they enjoy every time with them, and it's sibling shit when I have all 3.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Like as soon as I get out of here, I'm going to scoop Jay up, and then I got all 3 till Monday.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But they know each other. It's regular sibling stuff. I keep it cordial with both moms. I'm involved with the kids heavy. Like I can go to Jay's school and it's not even how you doing, Mr. Holland. It's hey, what's up, Eric?
Yeah.
That's how
good.
cool it is. You know what I'm saying? With the teachers, they know I'm involved heavy. And then the same thing with my daughter's schools. So it's just like I said, it's just a round the clock thing. I barely sleep. I take naps. You know what I mean?
That's how it is
what
with
it
all-
is.
that's how it is with all
It is what it
fathers.
is. You
It
don't
is
even,
nap.
and I don't even think about it. You know, but I do have, you know, I am blessed with, you know, a supportive family.
Right.
You know what I mean? My mom helps out, and you know, of course, you know, the moms, they help out. Everybody, you know, we try to keep on the same page. I'm not perfect. Do I piss people off? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
That's what fathers
That's
do.
what we do. I'm an
That's what we
Aries.
do.
We hard headed. So I don't make it easy, but I do make it easy on them because I'm, like I said, if I'm not here, I'm not at work, I'm not anything. I got everybody.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now you stand out. We all have different lives, but your life stands out more from the 3 of us that are sitting in this room. Can you explain why?
Because Jay is autistic.
Jay, and that's your first son.
That's my first son.
All right, and
So-
we're your only son.
It's the only son unless I have another one. But yeah. But he's a blessing though.
At what age did you find out, or was he diagnosed?
The evaluation's round 2. I'm gonna say 2. My mother, she teaches in special education, so she kind of like gave us the heads up about it, like certain behaviors, words weren't being said. By 2 they start saying there's like good 5-6 words they're gonna say. You wasn't getting any of that. A lot of jargon, a lot of just sound, and certain random behaviors. Like staying to itself. But that's, and when you're gonna hear me say this a lot when I say our kids, meaning like that's how we speak. Well, like when I've met other parents, we always talk about our kids. Yeah, like he does, sometimes he does want to play, but sometimes he wants to be by himself, and he does that till this day. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I could share with my sisters. Like, and then after, all right, look, I gotta go. That's it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you think that might be regular, because maybe I was like that with my brother. I don't remember. But like just seeing it with him, like you pick up stuff. I'm sorry, I know I'm gonna jump back and forth.
Do your thing.
You know what I'm
saying?
We're learning.
We're trying to understand.
Because the one thing, like how you guys are learning, I learn every day. Like every day, every month, it's always something new, something he used to do and he doesn't do anymore, or something he's never done. All of a sudden, that shit happens, and you're like, where'd that come from? And then the cool thing is, you can always reach out to the teachers and just ask, has he done this in school, or does he still this? And they'll we trade back and forth, with everything.
So from the age, again, we have you on the show because you bring a unique story, and I'm pretty sure our listeners out there can share the same story, and they could reach out to you for certain things. So
absolutely.
So you found out when he was 2 through your mom. So what was that process like?
Then he got evaluated. Then it was like they did a couple tests. Like till this day I still talk to his speech teacher. He came to the house. They give their diagnosis, and then once they he's on the spectrum, there's no regular ed, so you gotta prepare yourself for special ed, and the first thing you have to do always is just accept it. Like, this is gonna be the fact. Just like if a loved one got diagnosed with what I'm saying, an illness or anything like that, you just have to accept it. Then it's like, all right, cool, he's got it. Where do we go from there?
That's what I was just gonna ask you. Like, what is the conversation after the diagnosis? Like, it's like the car ride home. You know what I mean?
You say, I mean, I talked to Iz. That's his baby's mom, Isabel. So you'll hear me say Iz. And then I talked to my mom. I'm always in contact with the school since then. It's just like, where do we go from there? What's the next step? And then, he was getting homeschooled at the beginning with speech.
What age was this?
Like, it was still 2, going into 3, 2.5, 3, and then by then 3 into 4. That's when he first started going into school in the Bronx.
Okay.
PS 176.
Gotcha. So diagnosed, you accepted.
Yep.
How did you accepted it, but how did your girl at the time accept it? Did you guys have a lot of conversation?
Yeah. No, we did. We did, because sometimes you wonder, you going to grow out of it? And you never know. Like, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Like I said, certain behaviors you're going to see adapt. They may go away, and then stuff he's never done all of a sudden appear. So that's why, with me, you learn all the time, because to the day I go, it's a forever roller coaster.
Did she hit you with that from your side of the family?
No, we don't point fingers. Nobody blame. Like, that was you, niggas. I knew it. Because your cousin, you got crazy ass cousin. That's why. It was none of that.
Gotcha.
It was none of that. No point fingers. It was just at the end of the day, you do just have to come at as a unit, even not being together, not being on that level. We on that page with Jay, so we have to.
Because he says he's 10 years old, right?
He's gonna be 10. Yeah.
So y'all were younger. How was that energy being young and to have a child like that?
Your first child.
Your first child. Like, what type of like when when your child goes through those moments of, you know, getting on your nerves, like how did y'all bring it down and have that understanding?
With him, because I'm a very patient person, and talking to I really just had to reach out and get info on, especially when it comes to that, like disciplining and stuff like that,
right,
like when he does random things and stuff like that. I learned you can't discipline. Like, you know, with us, it's, I told you stop playing with them toys, put that down, and then, you know, you can't get a hanger and get my ass beat. But with him, and until this day, for the past 10 years, I have had to more coach.
Okay.
I had to more be a coach. So it's like, Jay, please put that down. You can't do this. Remember what happened last time? You got in trouble. Do you want to get in trouble again? If he answers no, all right, so put that down.
So he's part of the timeout crew. You know, he's part of the See, we had our first episode was Fade or Timeout.
Yeah.
So you're part of the timeout, you know.
But I don't do the timeout. I don't know. Maybe I'm in the Matrix because.
Well, no. Your timeout is different. It's unique. It's like, hey, you know, it's more communication.
Yeah.
You know,
it has to be.
Versus me, you know, I said just wild out and just be like, yo, man.
Let me ask you a question. So you've come up with sort of discipline rubric, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that also apply to your other children, right? Because maybe that's just a better way that kids should be disciplined. Where we all should be coaches like that.
Yeah.
Or is it
and it does help because you can't Samuel L. Jackson the situation because they're gonna get immune to it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've had friends whose moms just yelled all day long. You grew up as nothing.
But what
She
happens
always
when
tight.
you tied to them snakes on the mother
Now, with me doing that, when I do yell, they know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's all three of them.
Sparingly.
Right. I pick and choose. I really do. I pick and choose. Or you get creative. Again, learning from Jay, get creative and finding other ways of discipline. Now, of course, the classic way is what my grandmother did with me. If I clean up, she said she'll clean up the room. Yeah, all right, cool. I'm going outside, go to the store, come back. Room clean. But it was in the garbage. It was gone. You know what I'm saying?
You out.
I say what's going on here, but getting back to it, like I don't know what autism is. Can you explain what autism is? Because it's difficult because, and I say this as someone who is trying to understand autism.
I mean,
because there's a wide spectrum. Because you use that.
I don't do any
verbiage.
of the. I don't like we spoke earlier. I don't do any of the Asperger's or the letters or any of the abbreviations. Because when I spoke to somebody and they say don't do that. And I respect his opinion, so I don't do that. So if anyone has ever asked me, does Jay have this, I'm like, nah, he on the spectrum. That's it. That's the answer I give.
Okay. So, but what is autism like generally?
It's hard to define it. For me, it's hard to define it, but you'll know it's patterns, behaviors, certain structures that are going to be different. Certain feelings, dialogues, all of that elk, I guess you could say. Like I said, everything, I've learned more over the years through parents than actually reading and asking a doctor and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that people Google XYZ is cool. Do it. By all means, get your research because now autism is like it's on a wider scale than what it used to be. But back in years ago, it was like something's really wrong with that. Something's really wrong with that kid. But now it's on a wider scale. But I never really I've of course researched certain things, but I never made that my general perception of it. The only way to learn is parents who deal with it every day like I do. So
I wish my parents would have got me evaluated.
Like
like when you nutso.
Like
no disrespect.
No. Yeah. Like when you was telling me about your boy, and you said he has two.
Yeah.
The first thing I said is I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because all you can do is learn off that, because that child could be older or younger, and then you learn. All you can do is learn.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know
So like I was one of those people that. Well, I could sound like a parrot. I don't know what it is. So I looked online and to kind of level out the playing field to ask you better questions,
That's
so
fine.
on and so forth. So
Ask
it's where from the research it was just it's a autism or autism spectrum word disorder refers to a range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech and nonverbal communication, as well as by unique strengths and differences. So you touched on all those like characterized by challenges with social skills and repetitive behaviors. Now, what is it when it comes as well as by unique strengths and differences? Where do you see in Jay from that definition?
Strengths, academic wise.
Really?
Yeah.
Again, and I'm like saying really like I don't
like he's really he's really good at math.
Okay.
So hopefully he can do my taxes when it's in 18 years or something. In 8 years. But he's really good at math. He's really good academic wise, and he's getting better at reading. But the challenges sometimes with that is if he gets frustrated with something.
I was just about to ask you.
He may not want to do it anymore. Or if it's too easy, he has no interest in doing it. Like there's been times, like even in school, because I've gotten a phone call about it. It wasn't bad, but like I've gotten a phone call about it because I always like check in and stuff like that. He didn't want to do a certain thing because it's too easy, and he be hell bent on it. Nah, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, no, I'm not.
I'm not doing that. And then you have to step back. Regular ed, you doing that, you going to the principal, detention, get in the corner, stuff like that. It's different with our kids. You gotta analyze and try to find a way to get them to do it because there's something not registering, or there's something that he has to comprehend. I'm trying to find the right way of saying it, so forgive me. You just have to find a way to get him to do it, and and then maybe he'll understand why. Like in the past, he used to do puzzles. He did a lot of puzzles, but if he was missing a piece or the puzzle didn't fit, he'd get tight. He may destroy the whole thing.
Like crying.
And cry.
And how did you handle that to calm him down?
What happened? What happened? Let him, speak. Use your words. Don't point. Try to get him to talk about it.
Right.
And then, like, all right, so what do you need to do? Now he's old. What do you need to do? Just put it back together. All right, you gonna put it back together? All right, listen, try to do it. If you feel stuck, stop. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Just call me, if anything. I don't want you to destroy it again. Like, just try to understand there's other ways instead of just, this is whack, and then just destroy everything.
Let him know that he got.
Let him know that there's options and there's ways. You can still get this done. Don't get, don't get tight.
Right.
That seems like good advice, like generally, like for all people.
And that's that's my confusion with autism, right? And because it's just my confusion, because I could go through that situation as a parent with my 6-year-old. I've shared that he's like overly competitive,
Yeah.
So what you just explained to me now, I can see myself going through that situation. So it's almost like, all right, well, they say it's a wider spectrum of autism.
But that's where the repetitiveness comes in, because I'm pretty sure it'll happen again with Jay. But not with puzzles this time, with Legos.
Okay, all right.
It'll be the next thing that he's learned. Puzzles, all right, I mastered puzzles. What's the next thing? We in the Lego phase now. So now it's not just like the the big ass Duplos. It's little joints that might be 700 pieces. The instructions, now you can be like, the instructions say this. I'm like, all right, what have we done before? Like, what do you need? What do you want to do right now? He'll step away or go take a break. Go ahead. Go play. Take the Game Boy out. Go ahead. You good. And then go back to it.
You let him know there's no pressure.
It feels like that would almost help your negotiation skills, just like at work. right? You know what I mean? Like, just when you're talking to people, I just feel like it's a good.
What do you mean I can't get that raise? I know what I can do this way. What if I did this? Then will I get that extra 10K raise?
Yeah.
I should try that.
Yeah.
So your son is teaching you. See,
I should try that. And that's what learning those things with Jay has made me a better parent with Ava and Sienna, because with them, if they get frustrated, it's because I said no to something. Can I have ice cream? Nah, it's 10 o'clock. I mean, you should be in bed right now. You bugging. Right? They get tight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you try to talk to them. But then, again, I have that patience built up. Well, I'm going to let you go. And then, like, all right, listen, don't ask me tomorrow. You going, why? You yelling and screaming. First of all, you don't scream at me. You know, you're never going to scream at me. Like y'all seen parents argue with their kids in the street.
Yeah, I've seen.
I don't know how that. I go nuts. I can't argue with them because it's a one-way street, unfortunately, for them, not for me. Like when it's bedtime, God damn it, it's bedtime.
You know what though? I will say, and I don't want to get into too much details to embarrass anybody, but you know, me and Junior, who is 17, got into a little thing today. It was about cleaning his room. You know, because
that's different. I should have rephrased. I should have said younger, like 10 and younger.
Okay.
I shouldn't be arguing with anyone 10 and younger. Like I'm pretty sure I'll have a debate with one of these three when they're 17, 18, on why they can't get my car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't gas it up last time I asked you to do. You took that 20. Where's the 20?
Right.
No, but that's what I do. Like every time it's a thing.
So that's my bad.
I'm giving a speech about being responsible and a man and all that, and he kind of didn't want to hear it today. So
he's like, take that responsibility.
Take that stuff else with pops, man.
I felt a little like he was kind of meeting that with the rolling the eyes and the whatever, and I was like, you know, I got like you, right? I'm like, so I'm meeting the aggression with aggression. And I had to take a point, like, you know what, this is going too far. And then we had to sit down, close the door, because it was like a whole spectacle with everybody in the house looking at the situation. We had to sit down, you know what I'm saying, talk it out, end it with a hug or whatever. And you know, we talked. I drove him to work and all of that. But sometimes you can't meet the aggression with aggression, even though they deserve. You know what I'm saying? You know what you would have got.
Right.
But sometimes that's not
right, because I know what I've gotten. Like
he was talking about being creative with punishment. My elders was creative with ways to put the hands on you.
I know, right.
Absolutely.
We old enough. We was the hands-on era. Like my pop put hands on me. Like, oh, you ain't do it? Upside the head.
That's what I'm saying. That's the fade.
I got in trouble with my boy. His pops upside the head before I even got home.
Now, yo, do your two girls notice the difference the way you father Jay and you father them?
I'm trying to think of a situation. That's what I'm trying before I really answer. Not really, because I keep it consistent. Now but like other people have pointed it out to me, and then I have to explain to them. And that's a big thing that I go through is continuous education with certain things. Like I have to discipline Jay differently than I discipline the girls. And
do they understand that?
Once I explain it.
Okay.
I explain it. Because some things Jay may not understand why he's in trouble. And I have to say it and explain to him from start to finish. Where Ava, you know what you did. You know what you did, because I was like, because you're giggling. Look at you, you're laughing. You know you pissed your mom off.
But does Ava point out and be like, oh, but
no,
you didn't say
has never
Jay.
done that. But Jaden did it. Yeah, it's always but Jaden did it first of all. They both blame Sienna, and they're like, that's impossible. Sienna's the youngest. She's following you guys.
Yeah, she's like, yo, man, I'm just here.
She's just there, right? She's in the back of the car going for the ride.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just having fun.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah,
I'm in trouble because y'all in trouble.
Now, how was he around other kids outside of the family? Like friends and stuff in school.
That's one thing you'll learn too is, you go to a park, you get a bunch of kids. It's just you and him. You get a bunch of kids, like 4 or 5 of them. They kind of clicky. They playing tag amongst each other. It happens. He tries to run and play with them. They don't know him.
Right.
They'll dead him. He'll get mad. He'll cry. How come they don't play with me? You know what I'm saying? And you kind of explain to him what happens. I was like, and then, or he would, that's happened. Or sometimes he just wants to do it himself, or he might be afraid to do something, or he may not understand what the meaning of freeze tag was. This was in the past. So against a lot of explaining, and you can't just, for me, up until a certain age, I can't just sit down as a parent because I'm conscious of what, what I'm saying.
You're protective.
Yeah, I followed you. I'm like Secret Service. So when between like 3 and like 6, 7, I'm Secret Service. I was following them everywhere, climbing up the slide.
I'm like that too.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm exactly like that.
I'll tell you, when Junior was like young in those ages,
yeah.
like I will fight a little kid. You know what I mean? Like I would be out there like, yo, little man.
Yeah.
But the other part of it is like, how do you explain to him that just as a general rule, like kids are assholes? Right? Like kids on it, like they're assholes.
Yeah. Like now we don't know you. We don't want to play with you. Yeah. It's just, hey, listen, the story I've used is, listen, they got their own game going. It's kind of a secret game. Don't worry about it. You're not in trouble. Don't get mad. If anything, let's go on this side of the park. And maybe you'll have more fun. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to leave, we can leave. It's up to you. What do you want to do? You know what I mean? And he may choose to either stay, climb. Hey, do you want to climb with me? Then yeah, we gotta get our Spider-Man on too, or our parkour.
Parkour.
We get ours on. Then we gotta climb with him and do certain stuff just to make him feel comfortable, have a good time, and also let him know, like, you can have a good time without them. Like I got your back no matter what. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Now, does he have friends? Does he play with other kids?
He does. He has a couple classmates, and then, that is when you can kind of like sit back and just stay good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking to the parent, but both parents are standing up. We not sitting down.
So those the other parents and the other kids, I should say, are autistic.
Yeah, they're
as
in his class.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Like if he plays with them, they're in his classroom.
Okay.
But he also has cousins, that one's older than him, who kind of does understand with Jay. So like they play and everything, and then of course he plays with his sisters, respectfully, like that. But when it comes to like the park or certain things, it's always like it's just forever educating. If it's not him, then it's an adult if they have to ask you a question or something random.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I hate going to the park.
They come up to you and ask a question? I hate it.
No, but I've gotten I know one time what happened was he was at a birthday party and he kind of kept to himself. He didn't want to be bothered with any kids. He was just and then parents would be like, "Hey, is he okay?" "Yeah, nah, he's cool." "You sure he doesn't want to play with the other kids?" Like, "Nah, they're I don't know what they're doing. That kid looks like he just broke his arm. Go get him."
Mind your business.
Nah, he's good. He just, those are the times, like I mentioned before, this is the time he wants to be by himself. So like I said, you don't know the type of mood he's gonna be in. He's in the mood to play, or he's in the mood, I don't want to deal with anybody.
When he's in the mood where he doesn't want to deal with anybody, what is it? What are the traits that you see? Does he just walk away and sit down, like in a party setting? Does he walk away, sit down and eat cake, or does he like twiddle his thumbs, or what do you see?
What I see is with Jay, he has no filter. So sometimes I don't really want you near me right now.
Now, do you see that with all his friends, or is that's just him?
He's that all the time, no filter. He'll say what he thinks, and that's one thing I definitely learned. That's one of the things you saw in there. The communication and dialogue. Sometimes you have to tell him to think before you speak. Like if someone farted, don't let them know, because obviously they didn't Don't. Hey, excuse me, you stink. Don't.
That's
don't
what you say?
No,
I'm about
I'm
to say
just
you're a sex
saying.
stripper.
I've gotten a story where another child has done something like that.
And what did he do? Who was it?
I mean, it was the parent, of course, feels a certain way, and then you got to calm them down.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the world be a better place if we was all just honest?
Just
about
honest
who
with each
stink?
other?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, you know,
Stink, fam.
You stink.
Yo.
Like, yo,
Maybe
you
you
had
didn't
like,
know.
yo, you need to do some intermittent fasting or something. Be into
I
master
mean,
quiz.
I mean, it's but it's just one of those things you gotta just teach him. But and he may say, but I don't understand.
He got a sense of humor.
Huh? Does he?
He has a
does.
sense of humor.
He has a big sense of humor. He likes to work the room.
Okay.
He does. He's one of those. He's not a class clown, but
He has a comedic timing.
Yeah, he has the good timing. He has that Chris Rock timing, and then you know what I mean. He'll like to take charge, but he has a sense of humor.
It's good luck.
Here's another question. Now, I was a sickly young child. I had eczema at a very young age. That's hard for a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like allergic to everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there were times where there were just things I wasn't allergic to. I just didn't like them, like vegetables. But my mother was so scared that another thing would like set off a reaction that she didn't want to chance it. So what I'm saying is I would take advantage of my sickness when I was younger to
get out of school.
Get out of school or eat what I want or whatever. So my question to you is, because you know that you kind of have to deal with him with some extra care, do you feel like there's ever times where he has maybe taken advantage of knowing that he gets, some
like that
extra
privilege?
Yeah.
It's a good question because I never spoiled.
Right.
And I've never been spoiled, and I certainly don't. Now I don't think he's nah. I'm honestly gonna say no, that he hasn't like taken advantage of a situation. Like I don't think he's like older folk, they got a handicap sticker, so I could just pull a park at the hydrant because I can barely walk. Here's my handicap sticker. Nah, he's never he's never done any of that because again. He can't formulate that and doesn't realize certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he doesn't know, or he may know, but am I gonna get in trouble? I don't know. Will he test? Yes, he'll test.
Right.
Like any kid, kid, he'll test. There's a lot of things. Even kids. For me, my personal experience, he's gonna go through certain life things like any normal kid, puberty, all that stuff. You know what I mean? He's going to go through that. Now, could it be at a later time? It could, because some kids go through that. Some kids that are older than him, they could be in a diaper, for the adult diaper for all I know.
Mm-hmm.
But with him, like, now he's starting to go through puberty now. So there's certain things he's starting to learn. He's starting to like girls.
Right.
Hey, me and you.
We here.
He's starting like. I'm glad I'm just like going. I mean, y'all told me just go. Y'all told me just go.
Yeah, absolutely. This is your world.
I know. And he's starting to like girls. So this is where I'm going. I'm going with this. So one thing that he had to get used to, which actually did take years, was being used to getting a haircut. Because it's a sensory thing with the clippers. It's close to the ears. You gotta line that up, get that curve right, get the back rounded out. You know what I'm saying? But he used to always ask, and for a while it was really hard to find a barber with patience because Jay wasn't just a simple Caesar. It was just a simple number one. It was a number one, but
number one took like an hour.
It could be like a 45-minute thing because. What's that sound? It's the clippers. Why is it making that sound? That's what happens when it's plugged in. It's gonna make noise. What is that thing? It's the clippers. All bullshit aside. Is that like a mini lawnmower for hair? Like what is that? That's what he said. That's what he said.
Like Jay.
I'm like kinda, but it won't hurt. Like half my arm, like my forearm, religiously gets shaved because like, look, it's not gonna hurt. I'll ask the barber, yo, do me solid, just.
And this is every time you go into the
Not
barbershop.
every time. It's gotten a lot better, but in the past it has. So it is for me. It's like, damn, like, you know, I'm getting a mini wax right now. You know what I mean? Just so I was like, see, look, it's not all right. I'll try it. And then the moment you start getting behind the ears, or you know, barbers sometimes everyone's different. Even the ones that are nice, they go too hard, top of head. Yo, that I don't like that. We gotta go. I can't do this. We can't do this. I gotta talk him back into the chair. You know what I'm saying?
This is at what age?
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
This was because he's now more verbal. We're gonna go into like 4.
Okay.
4 or 5.
But go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead.
No, gotta ask.
No, because I was gonna say that you know, someone who's listening to this, they're probably listening to your stories and saying, "Damn, yo, my kid did that." But
It's possible.
Yeah, but as a child, I remember myself in the chair. I used to hate it. You know what I'm saying? Hearing that noise, hearing that cut, whatever. But for him, it's a little bit more. It's a little more traumatizing because it's
what's
hitting the
going
sensory.
to happen to me with this razor hits my head.
Yeah, and
You know
then
what
you
I'm
said
saying?
the sensory spots is because they're very sensitive.
Around the ear, he was very sensitive with that. So you know, between four to 6, 4 to 6.5, it was really rough. And there was times you try to go back to that same barber, you get curved.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm not dealing with
I ain't dealing with that.
Yeah, I've seen some barbers. They wouldn't like that. Like in some of the shops I've been to, yeah, they like certain things they don't.
So then, you know, there's like 1 or 2 times I'll bring like my phone or iPad or something. Like, yo, just pay attention to that. Don't worry about it. But then, you know, once you now I got, you know, I found a barber, and I go like first thing in the morning. Like right at like no afternoon where he waits that long. Yeah. I can explain to him, listen, we're gonna do this real quick. The sooner you get in, the sooner you get out. I know it's gonna cost me a Happy Meal. I know it's gonna cost me a Hot Wheels toy. I know it's gonna cost me something like that.
Using the video games?
Or yeah. I mean, I'm into video games too, so that's a win a win more for me actually.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I can get him a video game, quote unquote, for his birthday.
Yeah.
You know, I think he'll like 2K this year.
Right.
I think he'll like Madden. If not, maybe I'll just play it. You know what I'm saying?
You don't like this? I guess I'll keep it. You know.
But there was this one time at the same barbershop. Like when I first started going there, because when I go there, after a while, I didn't know the type of mood he's in. He had a rough morning. He didn't want to get up. He was, you know, he was moody. He was tight that it's, you know, early in the morning. So, when I got there, and again, when I get in the barbershop, I'm Secret Service. I don't sit down. I stand next to him, so he knows like, yo, I'm here. I got you. Don't worry. So. Got started. It was uncomfortable. I guess the clippers was hot. Started because then I asked him, yo, throw the spray real quick. I was like, I always say, listen, I'm sorry, bro. Do me a favor. Do me just throw the spray on real quick, cool it down. He did it. He was cool. And then it was just he got a little antsy again. He tried to get up from the chair, like, nah, sit. The barber goes, he's like, yo, bro, you gotta let him grow. You gotta let him go. I was like, We're good.
Yeah.
I was like, we good. I was like, nah, we good. It's just, I was like, I have to do this. And then he's like, yeah, but they not gonna learn unless you do. I was like, and then that's when I was like, all right, listen, he's a special needs student. He's odd. I don't like just throwing it around just to make, because I don't I don't think I deserve privilege or whatever. Because exactly, I'm not the only parent on the planet going through this shit. So I was explaining to him, listen, he's had a rough morning, but the clip is being hot around here. He gets kind of like, yo, buy that. That's all. So all of a sudden, it's always funny. Once I start breaking it down, and I like, that's the reason why I stay in there, because he can get tight. He's not weak either. So, you know, he can't outmuscle me. I'm not trying to say I'm strong, but he can't. I know he can. But can he flip, can he throw these 2 chairs? He can. You know what I'm saying? But once I explained it to the barber, he understood. why I have to stand there.
So
You know
now,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
now
then
he
he's like,
gets it.
okay, all right, nah, it's cool. I just thought, it was like, nah, listen, don't get mad or just thought. And then that every now and then you get those questions, what's it like and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, it's an everyday thing, B. Like, you know what I mean?
How does he feel now after the haircut is done and he looks in the mirror? How does he feel? Like
he
like,
said
yeah.
his words were, there needs to be an antidote that keeps me like this.
So he doesn't have to go through.
So I don't have to go back.
Right there, man.
So I don't have to go back to the barber.
Yeah.
There needs to be a formula.
So
With his math skills, maybe he may come up with something.
Listen.
Who knows?
yeah. So I was just about to
knows?
say, like, like where do you see Jay moving forward as far as like an adult? Because just so there's a backstory to this. You said you love the show. You said my son's, and I'm sorry, you texted me. You said you love the show. Hey, actually, my son is autistic, and this gives me a feeling of when I sit down with parents in a parent group. So you sit down with other parents and you learn from their experiences.
Yeah.
Now, what is the general, I should say, end game for you guys?
I don't know.
And even with them, they don't know?
Well, because...
And by end game, I mean, like, obviously he's going to be a teenager. He's going to be an adult.
Well, yeah, those are the things we're going through now. Like,
That's a good question too, man.
those are the things we're going through now. Like, certain life skills, like how important is to tie a sneaker, like any kid. But I think I think is particularly. I know I said it wrong. I think like this one is really different. Like understanding the importance of a urinal than a toilet. Like you can't sit and pee. Like he used to try and do that because his words, it's just a lot more comfortable. And I used to tell him like, yo, I can't. We go to Yankee Stadium, you go to Garden, you go to Barclays Center. I don't know the status of those toilets.
Right.
It's disgusting.
It's gonna be nasty. I was like, you want to sit down? You don't want to sit down in that. So I had to make sure, and it helped because the last 2 years he's had a male para in his classroom.
What's that?
Meaning like an assistant, a paraprofessional assistant teacher, a male para. So having a male is big because he can further explain that. He can piggyback off me. I piggyback off him because. I'm not dissing any moms, so don't take any offense. But there's certain things we have to explain to our sons how, when it comes to pain, when it comes to certain shit that we're going to have to deal with as a man. Like, I can't really explain to Ava and Sienna the time of the month. Nah, that's your mom. Go talk to your mom. I can't do that. I don't know what it's like. Never did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, never did it.
You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that, and from these next 8 years, I know it's gonna be tough because this is where going outside. You take the bus. You gotta watch what you say. You can't just talk to people.
I was gonna say something.
You know what I'm saying? People.
Because you mentioned something about his strength level. How's his self-defense skills? I mean, I know he's 10 years old, and I know that's kind of, but like you said, going out in the world and dealing with other individuals.
I don't think he's Hulk. I don't think he's has he taken like martial arts? He has, but he didn't really.
He didn't like the physical contact of it.
It didn't get that far, but it is something I thought of.
Because that is important.
Because it is important. It's an unfortunate thing you have to think about.
Yeah, it's real.
And I'll be honest, like I worry about because of when if he with what he says sometimes, or if he may not understand what he says it. God forbid, hopefully he'll understand by then, but in 1920, you drive, you get pulled over, you know what I'm saying, license registration. Why I gotta give it? What did I do? I don't want to do it. Like, I don't, I've thought of random stuff like that. And
that's good to think about, because now you could
we in that,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go. No, you're right, though. We are in that time, which is crazy. And then and as far as self defense, like you don't, I'm not with him every day. So like you do want to know what should he take, or like should he get into boxing? Should he get into football just to understand the contact and get used to that? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
No, because my friend who I was talking about,
Yeah.
he has his son taking boxing lessons. I'm sure when this is over, I'll show
Yeah,
you.
but see, that's
Yeah.
the thing I would ask. That's
Yeah.
the thing I would ask another parent. Like
Yeah.
100%. Like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying?
His son is like, I think he's like 6, 7.
That's
And
nice.
I'm watching him like,
That's
blah,
what's
blah,
up.
I'm like,
That's what's
crazy.
up. And it's just like yeah.
No, I was saying my son is just at that age where, like I told you, we had a little thing this morning.
Yeah.
Part of the thing we talked about was just like, yo, and I pulled him in. I just some kid who had just got shot again, and I was just like, yo, you are older than Trayvon Martin now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like certain ways you got to move outside. Like he got a watch or whatever. His mother bought him a watch the other day.
Can't just walking around flossing.
Yeah, but that's what I was trying to tell him. Like, yo, you walking around. I know you got a job, but you walking around with a watch in the ring. Like, it's not sweet out there, right? And
At all.
I'm sure all of us have, but I've lost people for just
For dumb stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And these are the things you got to tell them as they get into the young black men. You got to tell them these things. You got to have those talks, right? And I was like, all of that stuff that me and you went through a couple of minutes ago. If you ever hanging out with your friends and the police come around, don't do any of that because we know. You can watch the TV, you see what could happen, and that's from the police. But then you also have to deal with, maybe don't wear that watch because people in certain places.
Don't be out at 2 a.m. with that watch, please.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm more like 9 o'clock at night with that watch.
But yeah, so you look at those situations, and right now you're kind of trying to understand that you're in that position of what's the end game, because at some point.
I can see him with a job. I could see him or having his own, business or something. I can definitely see that. He is smart enough. I think he's smart enough. I know everybody. My kid's smart now. Jay really good. He really good at stuff. He was better than me at math because I grew up where I didn't care about school. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying. Back of the class. Rolling up,
tripping,
crumbling up papers, throwing it.
Yeah.
Sheree, hey,
Sheree's listening to this now, like, yeah, he ain't lying. He ain't lying.
You know what I'm saying? But this I don't know the end game, but I can see him with the job, a career, making good money. He it's just like I said, just learning life skills, which is just as important as academic skills, 100%.
Yeah, because I'm going back to what you said. The barber said, yo, you just gotta let him grow.
Yeah.
Because you're Secret Service at certain points, but then at one point, Secret Service gotta go away.
I do, because now I can sit now. Because now
Service.
every time he's with me on weekends, he either gets a cut or a shape up. So now he's used to it.
Gotcha.
Again, like I have to step back, analyze it, figure it out, and then all right, I'm gonna try it this way. So now every time he's with me, it's either a lineup or a cut, depending on the time of year. Because like during the winter, I give him like a 2. He has a little more hair. During the summer, he gets a 1, but he's always gonna have a line. But he's also used to the clippers, so now I can sit back and chill for a minute. And now it's no longer a 45-minute. Last Sunday we was there 15 minutes.
I don't even get out of the barbershop in 15 minutes. So
I do. Like I said, I go crack of dawn. I know nobody's awake.
Right
The hood ain't up till 12. There ain't nobody up at that time.
I learned never to go to the barbershop while a basketball game is on.
Oh, you in there for 2 hours?
I'm saying like you're in the chair for 2 hours.
No, yeah, in the chair for 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is the first quarter.
Right.
This side is the first quarter. Your line won't get touched up to the third. And
Yeah.
if it's close, God forbid overtime.
Yeah, pass me a beer. You know, I'm
God
going in
forbid
there with food and
overtime.
everything.
He spin you right. He spin you around. That gate is down. You didn't realize it. It's
Right.
dark.
Yeah,
Street
exactly.
lights are on.
Yeah.
Took a break to have lunch in the middle of the cut.
Other barber got a cup of Henny in his
Yeah,
hand.
right. Henny's on
It's
the
a good
counter.
Friday,
Yeah.
bro. That's a good Friday.
The Henny's on the counter.
It's a poppin' Friday. That's how I used to start. My stepfather owned a barbershop. So when that
that's
stuff
what's up.
happened, yeah, I used to go in there
That's
like,
what's up.
I got like a good 3 hours, and then my night would start
Then your night would start.
when I did that on a
Yeah.
Friday. But that's what's up. Yeah,
But
man.
that's always gotten better. Like now and that's the other thing they like. They like stability and consistency. They're not a fan of surprises all the time.
Now, what about health? His health. like when he get sick? Like, how do you deal with that? Like colds.
That's
and
like that to me. That is anybody. That's
Same rule.
that to me. It's across the board.
Okay.
You know when a kid is sick because they're not running around acting up.
Yeah.
They
Eating level is
they
low.
level. Hey, do you want to do this today? Nah. They just refuse to get out of bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, is he a fan of sports?
A little bit. Like around me, I try to introduce certain things. Like his mom isn't a fan of sports.
Isn't?
No, she's
Oh,
not.
okay.
She doesn't care. So it's all right. You know, unfortunately, he cheered for the Eagles. So I mean, I'm a Giants fan, so that's me saying
Hey,
that.
there you go.
So he's into football.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. You know, he was happy the Eagles won. So you Eagles fans, y'all can shout my son out.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted me to teach him the fight song. I said no. I drew the line there. I was messed up.
What kind of music he into?
Due to the fact I keep it as clean as possible because I have to. Because the last thing I need is a phone call of, you know, why Jay talking gun bars. You know what I mean? Why? You know what I mean? I
Coming into class with them loaded Lux bars.
Talking
right, first verse.
Right. You know, why he sound like Guilty Simpson? Like, no, I can't.
Oh my.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
You know, but I keep it regular. Keep it regular music, the 92.3. I dabble in the 105, but after a while you know.
He's into the R&B thing.
I'm a little bit like he last summer his joint was Classic Man.
Okay.
So he in the back. I'm a classic man.
Yeah.
I ain't knock it.
Let me tell you something. I was like that too. I was in the front of the car singing that song.
Yeah, man. So Endgame, you could definitely see him with a job.
Yeah.
He enjoys his sports. Like, do you ever like kind of show him? Like, I see Sesame Street shows. You know, they're
He's a Kirby. He's into Kirby.
But does Kirby shout out autism though? That's what I was gonna say.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Nah, Sesame Street does. So they're saying
Sesame Street does.
They're saying this is how kids.
In today's world, because everything is digital, all kids is on YouTube Kids. So you got to track what he watches.
So he be watching
that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, he's all the YouTube
5 Nights
Kids.
at Freddy and stuff like that.
That Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Teen Titans is popping though.
But that was when we was a lot of these shows they were just remade, and then he's look, do you see the new style? Like, let me show you my Sega. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo, it's funny that you mentioned like because Teen Titans. Obviously, we saw that. We read the comics. We saw the old Teen Titans. It was like very serious. The more funnier Teen Titans that they're used to, they're doing the same thing for Thundercats.
They're bringing it back.
They're bringing Thundercats.
Tiny.
That's a whole other show, man. Don't get me
No.
started on
But I'm
that
saying they're
Thundercats.
giving it the same Teen Titan treatment. It's gonna be funny and yada
Like
yada
Lionel's
yada.
gonna be little.
Yeah, they're gonna have like it's gonna be the way
not
Teen
even gonna
Titans
look
is.
like a
It's gonna
cat.
be it's gonna be Thundercat.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, that brings up something like with the sensory thing that I deal with now. Remember I mentioned stuff he used to do now he doesn't want to do. Mm-hmm. So like how with the barber now he's used to the barber now he's cool with it. Let's keep the antidote going. Let me keep my Steve Harvey fresh. He doesn't want to go to the movies anymore.
Why?
Because it's too dark. Because it's too dark.
And you can't tell him just like come on, just suck it up.
Before we can do it, it was like hot and cold. It depended on what it was. Captain America, we sat through. Transformers, I couldn't sit through. Now, I can't get him through any movie. Do you know how I tried for 2 weeks, like to explain? Yo, Black Panther's gonna be the greatest thing ever. You gotta see it with me. Don't worry. I'll give you 2 large buckets of popcorn. I won't eat none of them. I prefer the DVD.
I prefer the DVD. I love that. I love that
like
response.
I like him.
I was like,
I think you better invest in a Fire Stick. Even though
so
what I
I
mean.
was just like, nah, but we can go the big. Do you remember we used to go to the big screen? Nah.
But even let's say if you let's just put a scenario out there. Let's just say if you were one of those people that were like some like real jerky quirky type of dudes that you said, hey, listen, we're gonna go in there and they just started the movies. The movies actually have lights in it now, and
I
he
couldn't
went
do
in,
that.
and then it turned off. What would happen in
I
that
couldn't do
scenario?
that. I couldn't do
see
that.
the show.
I can do that.
He'll
Yeah, I
flip
can see
out.
a show
He'll
already.
bug out.
It won't be. There'll be a movie.
Yeah, he'll bug out.
The show would be going
A
on.
movie.
And then you can't just be like, nah, but I got you 2 popcorns. But he'll be like, no.
You see them popcorns
Popcorn's
flying
on
at the
popcorn
screen.
is on the lady in front of me.
Exactly.
Yeah, oh,
I can see
man.
it being
For the
tight.
audience, this is what that new
Look behind
what
you.
you call it looks like.
And for the audience that is just listening, you could just honestly Google Thundercats, Cartoon Network. This is going to be the new format that they're going to be bringing.
Travesty.
It looks like the Simpsons.
You know what?
yo.
It's not a travesty because Cartoon Network said, all right, we're going to give y'all Thundercats back. And they gave it a real life. They gave it the situation and nobody watched it. So they were like, all right, now we're just going to
We're
go with
gonna do our own
ratings.
thing.
Yeah, so this is
going
the
for
ratings.
ratings.
So that
I
is
know,
what it is.
man.
All right.
But come on.
So instead of
This is a conspiracy at the highest proportions.
I know I'm a Thundercats person, man. I got the tattoo on my shoulder.
See?
Oh,
The logo.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey.
They don't even look like cats no more.
But yo, so like, all right.
But before you go, let me finish.
Go
let me
ahead, go
finish.
ahead. Do your thing.
So like that's where what's pretty dope is sensory friendly shows, and even the movies have it where the lights aren't completely off or dim. Like certain ones do it like I think AMC does it like once a month, with something new, with a new movie. They do that. Last year we went to see Lion King on Broadway. They had a sensory friendly one, so the lights were. That was one of the dopest experiences ever for me.
Going into that. But what about for him?
Because I mean, you saw a dope show. It was the same Broadway show that you would pay $100 whatever for. I mean, it wasn't that price, but everybody in there was on the same page. You ain't to worry about apologizing to the person in front of you, the person behind you, because you know what I'm saying. Like if Jay starts acting up or
Everybody understood.
Right, it was understood 100%. And you'd also, you've met parents and stuff like that. I didn't really network in there like that because we all came through me, so everything's like a network for some weird reason. Pardon me. But there, like you've seen other kids and some people, you've seen some kids sit, some kids couldn't sit, and the movie and the play didn't even start yet. So like being in the setting like that, that's all parents love that to me because I know I enjoyed it because you just sit back and you just chill. You know what I mean? You just sit back and just chill and enjoy it. And then that was last year. This year we saw Aladdin, and it was just at the same spot. And it was the same thing, just the same setting. Like those settings are really dope, and it's not enough of that. I wish they can do it more often, but
They probably will moving forward because, like you touched on, the word spectrum. He's on a spectrum.
yeah.
So everybody has those different.
I just wish they did more of it. I know that but of course everything at the end of the day is about $1.
Yeah.
With these businesses, these
They gotta
corporations
find
stuff,
out.
you gotta find a way,
Make they get
like,
their
and
G
it's
money
with
cut.
everything. It's everything. They throw to me. Sometimes they throw you a bone. They throw you a bone just to, and they give it like a little time segment for special needs students and stuff like that. Like before I'll let you ask your question. Like the one thing that's I didn't laugh at, but I forgot her name, but that someone on 45. I don't call Trump. I say 45.
Just like my wife.
I'll
I'll be like,
my
just say Trump
grandmother.
already.
be
Just say it.
40, 45 got the one that's in charge of education. She want to cut math fundings, and a
Betsy
lot of it she wants to cut.
Betsy Davos?
Yeah, she wants to cut a lot of special education stuff. And even in the school that Jaden's in, like even the city at one point, they try to cut some stuff, but the petition's too heavy in this because it's too many. They don't realize how many parents are out there that go through this.
So here's the thing with Betsy Davos, or however you pronounce her name.
I don't think she has anybody in her family.
No, she doesn't. But
That's
thing.
why.
She's never even attended a public school.
That's the crazy part.
She believes that all schools should be sort of privatized charter type, right? And it doesn't take into the account of families that may not be the billionaires that your family.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they can't afford that. Or they they like to save money by just putting like 23 kids in one class.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's not gonna work. That doesn't work in someone like like someone with Jay.
It doesn't work in any education.
It doesn't even work with me coming up to school.
It don't even work in let's say sports.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
if you have
but
23 kids, how's
in the educational system at all?
Yeah.
It just hasn't. Right. So what we have, and this is not the politics show, but what we have is a group. We have people from Scott Pruitt to the old governor from Texas, Rick Perry, right? But you put Rick Perry in charge of the EPA. That's the guy that wanted to tear it apart. Or Scott Pruitt, who wanted to tear these things apart. You put Betsy Davos in charge of the educational system, who doesn't even believe in public school. Right, so when
they make private free, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's
it's like what's your plan behind that? What's the solution?
Oh, we know what the plan is, but
we know what the plan is.
That's another show. That's a topic.
Not to be political, but we're in a situation where migrant. I don't want to say migrant immigrants are coming into the country, and the families are being separated.
Yeah,
now,
that's crazy.
I will flip out just because those are my cubs, you know. So being separated, just like anybody else here, you would be freaking out because you want to know what's going on with your children.
You mean because you're a human being?
Yeah, you're a human being. However, your situation, how do you think?
If he was taken from me?
If he was taken from you, how would he react in those situations? Because we're not taking into effect is yes, their families being broken up and children need their parents, but we don't know if those kids are autistic or if they have special needs. You damn well know that they don't care either.
They don't care, and they're not. To me, they wouldn't even. And that type of setting, they're not gonna care to understand that situation because they have an entire room full. Jay has been in those after school settings where we've tried it out and it didn't work out, mainly because of that. And it was no one's fault, just like it's the teacher respectfully said, yeah, it's not gonna work, and you'd be cool with it because they to a regular after school setting, and then you get the part-timers that are maybe teenagers. It's just a check. I'm just watching 30 kids for X amount of hours. They may not understand why, and this happened to Jay. Like, they may not understand why he's flipping out. But our flipping out, we explain with words. Like, nah, you bugging, like this, hands clapping and stuff like that. Jay may get up, start crying, and yell or get frustrated about it. And then they'll be like, what's his problem? And then that's what it's like.
And then now Secret Service got to come back.
Secret Service got to. I got to flash my badge and explain to But I've always, whenever he's been in a situation, I've always played devil's advocate. Even when I know he's wrong, I've always asked questions. What triggered him? What made him get upset? How did you speak to him? And even in school, like if he ever got into a situation at school, I would always ask who spoke to him. How did they talk to him? I'm not saying you guys ain't doing your job because you're supposed to, because he's 100% wrong in what he did. But I was like, I know Jay because I know how I talk to him. I know I've seen him get talked to aggressively, and he doesn't stand back. He'll respond to you. Like, he'll respond to you. You want to get petty? Yeah, we can get petty. You know what I'm saying? He'll respond. So then I've always played devil's advocate because there is always a way to talk. And that's why I always separated the coaching from discipline. Like, you have to, you got to coach, you got to talk to them. You can't just, you can't, there's no Big Mama anymore, unfortunately, even though we all miss Big Mama. But, you can't just, what I tell you, blah, blah, blah. He'll respond back. Like, what you mean? Like, all I did was this. Why are you yelling this? He'll respond. Like, I've seen it happen,
Do you get offended by what also goes on in this nation, unfortunately, is a lot of mass shootings. And I've noticed what they always try to pin it towards is mental health. Oh, he was autistic.
About mental health.
He was autistic. Like the kid from Sandy Hook. They did say he was autistic, right? Sandy Hook? Am I bugging? I know I've watched.
So.
I know I've watched CNN or whoever say he was autistic and he was this, that, and the third, do you take offense to that? Like, hey man, you guys are painting the picture for all of us. It's almost
right.
it's almost like and I hate, again, I don't want to be political.
No.
White people don't want to take that blame.
They never want to take.
They don't want to say Edward shot up the school.
Right.
Oh, he was autistic. But if it was a black dude, he was a rapper. Or if it was a Spanish dude, he was an immigrant. You know what I'm saying? If he was a Muslim dude,
as soon as it happens in one of these places, he had something to begin with.
So I feel like almost at the same time, they're pinning people with certain disabilities in a corner and be like, because of this, you're not us, and this is why you do it. Do you feel offended by that at all? Or is my question bugging?
No, your question's not bugging. Me, and I don't want to piss anybody off by saying, because this is just me. I can feel offended, but what wasn't there one? Was it Texas where he kind of he had Pacific people? Wasn't there one? He only had Pacific kids he wanted to hit and got them.
In Texas?
I
don't remember if it was Texas, but there was one.
I mean, the problem is there's one every other week, and it's so sad, but it's hard.
But not to get political, but where's it at though? You don't hear, I mean, stuff has happened up here. Me growing up here, stuff has happened in Truman, stuff has happened in Evander, stuff has happened. Someone get oxed or someone get shot, something like that. But none of that makes CNN. But like you said, when it makes these places, but to me, and this is, and I'm gonna be on the air saying it, and again, I really don't want to offend anybody, but what made him do it? Again, it's a trigger to me. What made that kid just decide, yo, I've had it. I know where my dad's shotgun is. I know the combination. I'm gonna go light this place up. I'm gonna go light the school up. Was he bullied? You know what I'm saying? Was he the last to get picked on kickball all day? Girls was curving him left and right. Yeah, I just had enough. To me, if any of these kids there was a trigger that got pulled that set them off. To me.
To you, in your experience.
Honestly,
to me,
it could also be because we live in these sort of siloed digital communities.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you could lock yourself off and make yourself antisocial, and then the internet could tell you yes, it's okay, and all of those other people are not really people. Right. They don't get it.
Right.
They're not in the matrix.
They don't understand me.
So that's part of it too. The kids may not have been. Maybe they were, because I believe kids are assholes, right? But at the same time, sometimes it's not even the kids. It's the internet. It's this connected society that we live in that says we're bringing everybody closer together, but really it's pulling us further apart.
Got you.
So I feel you.
Anybody, because I could count how many times I was just like, yo, you know what? Yo,
you about to go?
I'm about to set it off.
What stopped you though?
The voice that said, yo, you wild, B. Nah, I'm
yo, that's
about
to be 25. That's what it is.
But those type of questions, though, I usually don't get into conversations with, because sometimes people OD, and they try to break out facts that they read about it, or about, you know what I'm saying?
Headlines?
Huh?
You mean headlines that they
read? Yeah, and
then
then you were expert, all of a sudden, and then they listen to this, and then they hit me on social media like, yo, Holly, 100% wrong. This is why.
Instead of teaching, because I was just talking to my dad about this today. There's people that we know would get into arguments purposely to tell you what they believe to be right, and don't want to hear your opinion because it's just black and white.
Right.
Then,
then it's like, what's the point in engaging? If you're not going to hear my side or my opinion of it, then there's no point.
I heard somebody say, and again, this is not really a politics show, but I heard somebody say the dangerous path that we are on today is that politics used to be about convincing people to see things your way. Now it's just about I'm playing to the base,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not about me convincing you anything. It's about me saying what I gotta say until the time runs out.
Yeah.
Right? And say what my people, like preaching to the choir. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You should want to change people's minds. You should be able to take in facts, listen to other people. You can still disagree with them at the end of the day, but you got to hear what people have to say and have the skepticism in your own beliefs to have them to allow them to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's not enough of that happening. Like I could believe, right now I could be like, yo, the earth is flat. I don't believe that, Kyrie, whatever. But I want to hear,
I want to hear,
mind,
change my mind.
Change my mind and explain to me why what I believe, don't make sense. Explain to me why they didn't fake the moon landing. I don't think they faked the moon landing, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
If you believe
People
that,
just
that we
weird,
shouldn't.
man.
What's that?
People's just weird, man.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
At the end of the day,
I mean, I got a lot of friends who be in that conspiracy theory shit, man. I'll be like, where you getting these facts from? Like, you got intel that I don't.
I believe in
Like,
lizard
do you
people.
be sitting in
No,
on these
because
meetings
always-
at Area 51 or something like?
Yo,
Talk
there's
to me,
lizard
you know
people,
what I'm saying?
man.
you don't-
45 is a lizard, man.
Yeah,
You don't
but-
see it, man. You don't see his scales, bro.
But, yeah,
Because then they go, because this is what I believe, and I like.
But
Yo,
the-
what kind of dust you
but,
smoking, man?
but let me tie all this in. But this is what I believe. But they go on the internet to speak to people, other people that believe in it,
That's it.
and then it is what it is.
right,
But
because
speaking,
there's nobody around to be like, yo, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but there is people that be like,
Yeah.
it's dumb. But then they come back with different things at you that just like enrage you. You know what I'm saying?
you
Bold,
can't-
like just, you just
don't
want
do
to
it.
you just want to hit them.
Man,
Like
You know
don't
what
get
I'm
into
talking
this
about?
in the
Yeah.
conversation.
You know what I don't read any comment sections unless it's about like comic books or something like that. I don't engage in political discussions
Fucking with these
online.
weirdos, man.
Yo, Holla, you
I
could
can't
attest
do
to
it.
this. The best comment section ever was not right comment section.
Nah, right was the greatest.
Yeah.
If you was
Yeah.
a garbage MC,
Oh
Yo,
my God.
they would light your ass.
150
up,
comments,
Yeah.
see?
110 was negative, yo.
Yeah.
The other 30 whatever was from the artist trying to bring a balance.
Yeah. Not right comment section was dope, B.
Yeah, not right. Was they crazy.
You got
man.
lit. You
Yeah.
would get lit up on that. Oh man, yeah. If that record was garbage,
You were getting hammered. Yo, remember
I'm
J-Rock?
pretty sure SK probably got like, yo, why did you put that up? Like, I'm pretty sure he got submissions.
What was cool about SK is that he was just like
Whatever.
whatever. Your man used to just walk around
Listen,
and just be like
I'm doing
nothing
me.
is bothering him.
Nothing
Yeah.
bothers me. Oh, new Cam album. Put it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
With the briefest of descriptions, and and you just listen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good time in rap music
Yeah.
era. You know what I'm saying? But going into you, my man, what do you go into a father group that, or
Yeah,
is it a parent group?
I haven't been able to as of late, like with work schedule, but it was at his school. It was a fathers club, and
Only strictly for autism, or just father
no, it
club?
was strictly for like autistic fathers, not what us, but you know our children. And I learned a lot of stuff there. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope because you can just sit and how we talking and like how you guys talk with every episode about scenarios, and there's no judgment. You know what I'm saying? There's like y'all would debate, but I never heard y'all be like, yo, you fucking bugging, man. Like, and then all of a sudden show's canceled because they hot. They hot at each other. You know, school been old head, they done. That's the new headline.
It almost got that way for Kanye West. I'm joking.
That time when he wore the real MAGA hat?
Yeah, right. That's how y'all started the show too. Yeah, y'all didn't waste no time.
Oh, wait, Kanye, did we?
I think y'all just went right into it.
That one, yeah, I think we just, because it was a conversation before.
Yeah.
That's why. So yeah.
So
but,
then you just wound up hitting record, right? Just
Yeah.
You gotta get the live reaction.
get the live reaction. But yeah.
What were some of like conversations that? What were some
Stories.
jewels that you took in and was just like, I'm gonna apply that into my life with Che?
What I learned about when someone's son went through puberty, where like I said, it was just normal. You know, they're gonna experience it one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and just coach them through it. I'm trying to think of like there's like a lot of they have like a lot of stories. Like the thing with the filter, like that was a story I heard where like one parent mentioned that if somebody farted, and the funny thing is that was in the church, so the kid spoke in the church.
Oh man, it's a good look right there.
So that he's like, "Yo, what's that smell? It's bad." Blah blah blah. So, but a lot they always just say, like everything I've said that I've done, I got a lot from them because their children are older. Just I call it Secret Service, but just continuous coaching. Like you can't get mad. I mean, there will be a point, if he does the same thing wrong 100 times, that might get you hot. But like some of the stories I can't tell, so I'm trying to like find something.
I feel you.
Can't say.
I feel you.
But as far as like the coaching, what you really did was just analyze a story and compare that story to has Jay done anything similar or worse or just exactly he did that last week. You know what I mean? Like how we would speak. You know what I mean? That's all I did, just absorb those stories and then like ask a question, what did they do? You know what I mean?
So, did you guys ever talk about like at one point your children understanding that they have autism and that they're different? Is that something that's possible or?
That's a good question.
But the thing is, are they different? Because in their world, they normal.
They were.
That's why.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Someone that's hearing impaired, they perfect.
Yeah.
I don't hear none of this bullshit out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but has there ever been a situation where you ran into that? Because I was reading an article.
I haven't. Me personally, I haven't. And if it happened, I wasn't there. But I don't think he's too young to talk. I can't talk to him about that now.
No. Of course not. That's why I said like in the group. Have you heard something?
Oh, okay. No, something like that. No, I haven't.
I was reading an article that there's now the Kansas City Royals signed their first professional baseball player with autism.
That's dope.
Dude is 25 years
old.
old.
That's dope.
And it's not like a signing that they were like, oh, we're here for
off the
autism.
strength, right?
No,
he could play.
He worked to get there.
Doug Flutie was autistic.
Boom. Did not know that. Doug Flutie was autistic.
I didn't know that neither.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
How did you? But do you look at those?
No, I didn't look up. I didn't Google athletes, rappers, or
not
anything
that,
like
not
that.
that. But do you look at that at Doug Flutie and let's say you Google this baseball player and then you say, "Hey Jay, this guy is a football player. You should like him." But not like kind of indirect. You just take that and just say, "Wow, that's gonna be my son."
Not at all, because like I said, I know I have to discipline him slightly different than I do Ava and Sienna, but for the most part, I keep it consistent. Like I said, I don't yell until I really have to yell when they F up.
No, I'm not saying we're effing up, but you could say, "Hey, Jay."
Oh, but as far as like, yo, they're so and so. They grew up and they were this when they were younger.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's normal.
It's normal.
No, I understand that it's normal, but it's like with
I know
Black
exactly
Panther.
what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly
it's like with Black Panther. We had black superheroes, but not in that spectrum of a black superhero. So a lot of people were coming in droves with their kids, like, look at what look at what you have now. Yeah.
Knowing Black Panther's been around
forever. You know what I'm saying? And your non-nerdy ass wasn't watching it when we were watching it.
You're not a nerd.
Clown.
You're not a nerd if you think. Listen, you're not about that if you thought Black Panther was created in Civil War. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You ain't about it if you wasn't watching Media Man. Clown. You know what I'm saying? No, but
we need the bomb sound right now.
Yeah.
Right.
What about that BET Black Panther cartoon? Right? People don't remember that.
I remember that.
I was off
that.
Nah, I'm off that. Yeah, you
people,
got me. Now
people forgot about Blade. Blade was dope.
Blade was dope.
And Marvel ain't put their name on it. I know we getting off, but Marvel ain't put their name on until the third one. I was mad.
But at that time, like, see, the mold wasn't made yet. And see, Blade led the way to X-Men. And when Sony saw what was possible in X-Men, that led the way for Spider-Man. And when Spider-Man popped off, everybody with the dudes at Marvel with the characters they had left, it's like, yo, we could do anything now.
Blade set the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Look,
That's
check this
a
out.
Black History fun fact right there.
Check
Right?
Boom. Yo, y'all learning so much. Doug Flutie was autistic. Now y'all learning about this.
No. I'm gonna take it one step further because and
I just want to know what rappers autistic though. B. That'd be ill.
See, I'll never look that up.
Yo, could you imagine?
I'm about to beat you too.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve.
No. So if you look at Blade, he was all about wearing the leather suits. Like if you didn't know that he was from the comics, you wouldn't know that it was a superhero.
Right.
That paved the way after the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin stunk up the whole superhero thing. So Blade came out, made it hot again. Then Fox saw that and they was like, yo, we could do the X-Men. And the X-Men didn't wear their suits. See, today, you'll get excoriated by the fans if the character don't look how they looked in the comics.
Right.
But in them days, it was black leather because we was in the Matrix era at that time. So now the X-Men
But we can go way back to the first Punisher with Dolph Lundgren. He wasn't skulled out, only the knife.
No, I know.
He was leathered out and drunk.
I know, but what I'm saying is Dolph Lundgren still wasn't even like a vampire movie. That's just like a dude with a gun.
Yeah.
You know, that Blade takes it a little further. Okay, we a vampire. We got superpowers now. Superpowers with leather suits. Here come the X-Men. They wearing all black leather suits, right? Then Spider-Man came after they saw like all the effects and you could have the
we can do it.
claws and everything.
We can do it.
Spider-Man just came in like, yo, I'm wearing the Spider-Man costume. Fuck it, right? Then now a few years after Spider-Man, that's when you get Iron Man, 2008.
Your son is into the Marvel stuff?
Yeah.
What's his character?
He likes Tony Stark.
Okay.
He's a big Tony Stark guy.
Because he can relate to him.
What do you mean?
Math.
Oh.
Bang, 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 bang. You're looking at
mad
certain
stuff,
things.
stuff, mad creative, creating
And
things.
he threw you off with that, right?
Yeah,
You
he's
wanna
like,
say
what you
that
talking
Iron Man
about,
have autism too?
Say my son got a crazy goatee. What you talking about?
Right.
But
my son an
he
alcoholic?
likes Starks. He likes Starks. He likes Thor.
Okay.
But he's into Avengers again. Like I said, trying to drag. Infinity Wars come out was good. Maybe next time. I'm like, when's gonna be next time? I was like, when's gonna be next time? When the second Infinity War, or do you want to wait for Captain Marvel? Like, which one do you want to do? Then he went back to his DVD line. I prefer the DVD.
I prefer the
prefer the
DVD,
DVD.
man. That's
I'll
a
tell you what,
jewel right there.
He does. He drops jewels. Like, and it's not like he's studying, a book. He's
Let me.
He's an MC.
Let me let this fly right now.
Yeah.
He's free spirited.
Yo, how would you feel if he would just
Good luck.
if he just came up and said, "Yo, Dad, I got this book of rhymes,"
And they were fire.
and they were
And it was
fire.
fire.
You'd be like, "All right, let's go." Video games aren't our thing.
57.
Yeah.
57. I need a batch.
Video games
Audible, I
aren't
need
our
a
things
batch.
anymore. We're gonna get into this.
Yo, Tor, you got that connection and knife? I need that real quick.
Hey, there you go, man. But yo, thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank
man.
you. I
It
hope
was-
I gave a little insight.
Well,
I know we were.
No,
Go ahead, go.
No, there's some. No, it wasn't a question. There's just something you said about how you coach your son, and I'm just sitting here thinking like, do I coach my daughter? Enough? Because I sometimes I hear myself,
Right.
showing aggression to my 4-year-old when she's like out of pocket, but she's just being a 4-year-old. But I think it's just me being, I want to do the things I like to do in the computer, and here she comes, Daddy, do this, and I'm just like, God damn it, I'm trying to chop up this beat. Like, it was good,
Yeah, they want your time because you're home.
You're right.
I get that a lot.
I was listening to what you were saying about how, like, you say, okay, you break everything down to them in the simplest form.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in my mind like, maybe I should try that when I go home. Let's see if it works.
Yeah,
Like a lot of things I learned.
Yeah.
A lot of things I learned from Jay just made me bring it to them, and it's worked.
Yeah, so
You know
good
what
luck.
I mean? It's worked.
I appreciate
now,
that.
sometimes do they rebel? That they kids.
Of
At the end of
course,
the day,
yeah.
they kids. They're gonna rebel, and then you just instead of going, don't yell. Like I said, maybe do the grandma method. You know what I'm saying? Or flip some stuff up. Like Jay likes to waste time. Sometimes he likes to procrastinate, but that's any
That's
kid.
the kid, yeah.
So like one, it'll be brief. I know you're about to be out.
No. Yeah, hey, do your thing.
What I did with all three of them, because it's one of those times I had everybody, and when you have all three, you really gotta your patient level gotta be at 100.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is always at like 95. There's sometimes I'd be like, what? It happens. But you know how you used to. It takes a while to get them to get dressed, go to school, and stuff like that because they don't want to get dressed. Even though they like school, like where you're going. You just need to get dressed. Why do I have to go through this every day? So I found a way to turn the tables, and it just recently happened. So I'm glad I could share it here. It was on the weekend, and I said, "Yo, there's we can go to is it not Billy B's? It was those bouncy houses."
Yeah, the bounce house.
Like Bounce You, one of those joints. It was something like that. I looked up, I was like, yo, there's a session. Because if I feel they're going to go crazy, I got to get them outside. They can't tear the house apart. They can't tear the house apart because then I get in trouble. Why'd you go do something? But I'll get told in Spanish. But, so I was like, yo, there's a jump session, get dressed. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. I waited like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, all right, listen, if we don't go by, let's just say 1:30. I don't remember the time. If I was like, yo, we didn't leave by 1:30, it's going to be over. We can't go. So I was like, I set the timer on my phone on purpose. So
nice with it.
They you hear them playing, oh yeah, I need my sneakers. One sneaker. One got one sneakers on. One didn't, it's taking their time. They don't want to do their hair. And stuff like that, so they procrastinate. The timer went off. My phone went off. They was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, we can't go anymore. It's over." Wow, what happened? I was like, "Yo, remember what I said?" I was like, "You guys take forever doing it, so we can't go." So they felt bad. They didn't get mad, but they knew it was on them. You know what I'm saying? They knew it was on them. So like, I always, try to find a way not to get stressed or not to yell. Because I really pick and choose that, and a lot of it I really give kudos to Jay. He doesn't realize it, but that's what made me like build patience and find ways. Because I constantly have to find ways to get him to understand why something's cool. You know what I'm saying? Six Flags. I have to show him on YouTube because he's not gonna do a roller coaster right off the bat. Hey, what's that? Oh, that's just a 60-foot drop. Don't worry about that. We'll be all right. Hell no, I'm not doing that. That's you know what I'm saying. That's going to be the reaction. Because I learned that going to a water park. Like he didn't want to do anything because he just thought everything was gonna happen. But I was like, you got a life vest, you good? I will carry you, whatever. And then you just had to find a way. Like the first year, it was hard. He didn't want to do it, and then towards the end, where you're ready to leave, then he'll do it. But it just the moral of the story is I just continuously had to find ways to work anything just to get him to do anything. And so even getting him to do something, discipline, whatever, I always just had to find creative shit to do. And so it's actually work, and I just do it with everybody.
And you never laid your hands on like a pop or anything like that. I'm only asking that because
I'm not gonna laugh at your terminology.
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to the girls, they'll get a pluck on the ear. Jaden, I've laid hands on him in his 10 years 5 times in my life. And one was recently because he got mad and hit his sister. Because I've always told him never hit a girl. Okay. I've always had to drill into his head. So then the one day
at the age of 10?
Huh?
At the age of
it was recently. It was like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
I've always told him like never hit a girl ever. I don't care what it is. He'll ask me, have I done it? I said no.
Not even shake up.
Like Kanye said.
Remember we recorded this.
Kanye has so many different quotes that you can add to life, unfortunately.
I'm only joking, people.
If you want to, I'll leave the crib. I'll leave. Just because I know we'll be automatically wrong.
Yeah, you be in that green suit, my brother.
Automatically.
And it's the reason why I'm asking these questions because I'm just taking it in. So when I go home, because I have 3 girls in my house, and I mean all together I got 4 daughters. But it's like
So you know they will stress you out. At
yeah,
times.
but I know me,
Right, and you know you.
Yeah, I know me, and it's like my rage level, hits up real quick because
Find ways to flip the script.
that's why
Put
I'm
it on
sitting
them.
here,
Especially
like, listening.
and because two of them are older, right?
Yeah, two of them older, like they be into their own thing. I let my wife, handle that situation. But I have a 4-year-old, and like I said, that 4-year-old energy is nothing to play with.
That's right.
It's just
You're 100% right.
It's just like, God damn. I'm just trying to do something right here. I'm trying to go in and sneak in the refrigerator, and I know I'm supposed to be fasting, but I don't want my wife hearing me go in the refrigerator.
Listen, I got dominoes by my back. I'm hot.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, like, what you doing? Like go sit down somewhere. Daddy, what you got behind your back?
Yep.
But all jokes aside, like to just maintaining the patience level and just bringing it down and being able to, communicate with your child to get the results that you need.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing, and I'm like taking it in. So when I go home, I'm like, all right.
Let me know when you flip something.
I always flipping something.
Let me know when you do something. Like, yo, they tight, but at themselves. Because they full.
I agree with Sean, man. I got to take that in as well because I can find myself, especially because I have 2 boys. So the masculinity and competition, and it's consistent, man. Like, it's consistent. That's something that they're consistent at, is constantly testing each other. Especially the little one to the big one, you a little sucker. Let me get that.
They trying to keep up with him. They trying to catch up to him.
Yeah, and then if I give the little one attention, then I can see the big one like, man, what the heck is wrong with it? Like he did something wrong too. Like what's going on?
That's always the thing. Balance.
So to me, it's like I dish out fates to everyone. So I noticed that. That's not the best answer.
No.
So I'm taking in what you're saying and saying, man, I can't do that with the 2-year-old.
No.
I can show him little bits and pieces.
Right.
But the 6-year-old, I can 100% explain the situation, even though
you're going to explain it again.
I'm going to explain it, till I'm blue in the face.
You will.
At the end of the day, they're young kids, man. Yeah. But again, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on to the show and explaining your story, man.
Thank y'all. I barely do stuff like this, so it was a pleasure. Like I said, I'm a fan of the show. So you asking me to even do this, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Thank you for definitely coming through, man, and inspiring all us and
well, I hope so. I hope I hope I didn't piss anybody off. And like I said, any parent out there, child, I have no problem meeting y'all. Like real, all bullshit aside, they. Y'all know my IG is E_holla. Hit me up. Hit me up. I love to build.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Steve.
Yes, sir.
Parting words.
Yes,
Do you have any parting words for us today?
Parting words. I think this gentleman kind of stole the show today. I don't know what to say here with this topic.
Nah, Thundercats did. That Thundercat picture.
Oh, yeah. I think we should just
I can't wait for it.
on the screen,
I'm going to watch one. I'll give them the
for
benefit of the doubt. I'm going to watch one, see what they did to my beloved cartoon.
Hey, man, we had to been watching it. That's why we had to watch it. We have to be in it. Look at it. It's glorious. I love that. I can't wait. It looks funny. It looks funny.
I thought that was fake when I saw it. I didn't know that was going to be a real
No,
thing.
that's going to be real, my brother.
Oh, my God.
That's crazy.
They brought it out. They said, all right, this is what y'all want to do. And we got you the Thundercats, and nobody watched it. So they said, you know what? We're going to take it. We're going to take our own spin.
I used to watch that as a family every week. My son and my nephew didn't even know what it was. I said,
"Word,
son, I'm a school y'all. Me and my brother, we sat him down.
Mm-hmm.
That was appointment viewing every Saturday morning when it came on.
That's what we got to do it with hip hop too, though.
We do.
We try to.
Yeah.
What's that? I'm sorry.
He's saying like he was schooling them on Thundercats and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, we got to do that with hip hop too, so that way these rappers don't say, yeah, so and so is whack.
I keep saying it should be like analysts.
I don't know.
Music analysts. Like this NBA sports.
There's music analysts now. The older heads, they hate. Not all of them.
But see that.
But that also plays into it too. Like so, like you have the young kid that be like, yo, Nas, Lonzo Ball would say Nas is whack. But then, you would have like, I don't know, ex rapper who's 52 years old and be like, yo, what the hell are these niggas talking about, bitch? You know, so it's just like...
That's true. It's true.
You know, so it's just like, they're battling, you know what I'm saying? I was just
What the hell these niggas talking about, man?
Yo, I was just talking to my sisters about the kid that just passed away, and
I'm still learning these guys. I don't hate on anyone. So like a lot of this stuff I just didn't.
I troll.
I'm in no rush.
See,
I troll with people that like it because I'm just a troll. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't understand it.
Here's the thing. XXX. That's the
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P.
You know what I'm saying? To Young Blood. He was kind of different than the artist that was in his class. Because I've listened to his records, and I'm like, wow, he's not. Everybody in their mind think he was just on some, quote unquote mumble rap or shit.
Because what we saw,
and that's all you saw, and because of the look at
the
me,
strength of the appearance, right?
Yeah,
the dreads, different colors,
right? And the Look at Me Now record, But he had other records that was on some like what? And even if you listen to the music, it was just like on some. Oh, you want some? It's like some boom bap with mixture of like today's atmospheric and mood music and all of that. Yeah,
I never listened to a record.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's unfortunate that how he got killed right when he was trying to clean up his act.
That's gonna be the biopic, just so you know. That's coming out in a movie, 100%.
Yeah,
that happened. They got, and I'm not. Young people, we just spoke upstairs. I told you about my young times and the stupid situations and all this other stuff. Yeah, and all that stuff that I got myself into. So, but at the same time, it's like what we said about the young boy getting grabbed up out the bodega. Unfortunately, you brought that energy to you. You know what I'm saying? You brought that energy. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate. And R.I.P. And I hope it's a lesson to the young crowd that's looking at him, and I hope it's just a lesson to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You put that out there.
Overall.
Yeah, you put that out there. That's what you could get back.
That's why we need fathers are back in style. We got to get keep our kids safe out here.
Boom.
Man. We got to
you got to teach them. You got to school.
Make fatherhood great again. You understand?
I'm also gonna put this out here for any young artists coming up. It's okay to get rich and switch. If you make money, get out the hood. Like you could come back and help people out. No, I'm telling you, man.
Chuck a deuce.
No, I'm telling you, you cannot stay around.
No, I agree.
When you are the only person around that's successful, it's gonna be people out there that are hungry, and they are gonna try to eat your food. You know what I mean? And there's several different meanings for that. But I think this young brother that just got killed is a perfect example of that. You cannot. Every story of a rapper you heard or almost every story of a rapper you heard getting killed for nothing is because why? He was still back trying to prove that, you know what, I'm real, I'm not this, I'm not that.
In his situation, I think he was just searching for a bike.
I know,
he
was
shopping, right?
Yeah,
he was
shopping
for a bike.
But what I'm saying is,
no, but I agree with you saying.
Management said, listen, you gotta have security. He wouldn't have security. He's walking around with a Louis bag with how much money in it and exposing to people that's what he's doing.
It can't be and that's where social media comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you can't. And this is like in general. Like when I see people have stacks that was on their phone but no security, or you just I'm at the Louis Vuitton be here for X amount of time, or I'm about to pull up at so and so and they jeweled up.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna say this, like at that age that I was at, and if Instagram and all that stuff was around,
if there was
I wasn't
Instagram back in the day,
yeah, I wasn't like an ultra violent person, but I was like, a little schemer, so stuff like that, I would have been like, all right, well, he's gonna be here.
They would have canceled your account.
Like, we would have been like, he's over here.
They would have canceled your account.
He's over here. Let's. He got the geotag, and that's it. I came up for the summer. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a different generation. What can we say?
But other than that,
God bless. It's 36 Chambers of Fatherhood, the best, your favorite parenting podcast.
Yes, sir.
And we out, man. Thank you for listening.
Peace.
Bro.
My man.
Listen to the kids. Bro. Listen to the kids, bro.